Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone, learn off of them, one-on-one. Now that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars, but I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's Gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro, Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
I signed up, and I've learned an incredible amount from Phil and Steve. The staff at Phil's Gang gives platinum-level service and stock recommendations. You know, it's as simple as that. At the end of a month or so, I've always been in the black. Phil's Gang is a class act. I'm happy to be a member.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Phil Grande has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
Money's coming to me.
The comments from our Reserve Bank colleagues and from the CEOs that they talk to are pretty constructive on the economy right now.
They weren't. Not at all. No. He's talking about the 11 Fed banks that are around the country, those 11 sectors. Remember, the Fed has these 11 banks, and they report to the Fed every month to find out what these 11 sectors are doing. And 10 of those 11 banks are saying the economy's not growing. The economy's terrible. So he's not telling the truth. Listen to this.
So they feel like the labor market's in balance. People feel good about where the economy is. Demand.
People feel good about where the economy is. Where's this guy missed the election? What's he, nuts? 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. 70% said we need a change. The economy's not doing well. And he comes out and says, people feel good? These people just don't lie. Hi, I'm Phil Grande at Phil's Gang, philsgang.com. Oh my God. I mean, this is unbelievable. They come out, instead of just saying, we screwed up, the Democrats, the socialists, the Marxists, that's what they are. They're no longer the Democrat Party my grandfather was in, her father. This is a socialist party. And people don't buy into what they want to do. I mean, it's amazing. Americans, all Americans don't want little boys going into the little girls' room and vice versa. They don't want that. They don't want the military be focusing on pronouns instead of how to shoot somebody, take them down with a knife or whatever they do. No, they don't do that anymore. Instead of that, it's all pronouns. That's why our Army and our service, all our services, we can't get anybody to join. These people just don't get it. Now, you know, it's really interesting to listen to this. When you want to know why, here, this is interesting here. This is from The View, right?
Yes, Sonny. Why did they vote for him?
Why did they vote for him? Well, here's why they didn't vote for Harris. Now, this is interesting. When you hear Senator Cruz now questioning Mayorkas, who was in charge of the border. When you hear it after the election, wow. If people don't now understand why they didn't vote for the socialist, Marxist Democrats, listen to this.
Is there a crisis at our southern border?
Senator, there is a very significant...
That's a yes or no question.
There's a very significant...
Is there a crisis?
Senator, there's a very significant challenge...
I think your microphone is not on.
There is a very significant challenge that we are facing.
Yes or no, is there a crisis?
I believe I've addressed that question.
So you're refusing to answer?
Senator, there is a very significant challenge, and
will you answer if there's a crisis?
Therefore, we are dedicating the resources...
Okay, so you're refusing to answer. Well, Secretary Mayorkas, I'll tell you someone who is willing to answer, which is your and President Biden's chief of the Border Patrol in a sworn deposition in July of 2022 when asked, would you agree, Chief Ortiz, that the southern border is currently in crisis? Answer, yes. Notice none of those wiggle words, none of that equivocation. One word, one syllable, yes. For 4 years, Democrats went on and on and on. The corrupt corporate media went on and on and on about kids in cages. You couldn't turn on the evening news without hearing kids in cages. What they didn't tell you is Barack Obama built those cages, and today under Joe Biden, the cages are bigger and they're more full than they were before.
Yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
Why did they vote for him? And even worse, when you go back to the impeachment, even worse, listen to this. This is a lawyer, Trump lawyer, talking about Congressman Sewell.
House Manager Swalwell showed you this tweet this week, and he emphasized that this tweet reflected a call to arms. He told you repeatedly that this was a promise to call in the cavalry for January 6th. He expressly led you to believe that President Trump's supporter believed that the president wanted armed supporters at the January 6th speech, paramilitary groups, the cavalry, ready for physical combat. The problem is, the actual text is exactly the opposite. The tweeter promised to bring the Calvary, a public display of Christ's crucifixion, a central symbol of her Christian faith, with her to the president's speech, a symbol of faith, love, and peace. They just never want to seem to read the text and believe what the text means.
Yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
You have to get your people to fight. He told them.
You have to get your people to fight. And if they don't fight, we have to primary the hell out of the ones that don't fight. You primary them, we're gonna let you know who they are. I could already tell you, frankly.
They cut all that out. And this is the last one.
There is significant reason to doubt the evidence the House managers have put before us. Let me say this clearly. We have reason to believe the House managers manipulated evidence and selectively edited footage.
And boy, did they. So if you want to know now, this.
Yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
Because of that nonsense, because of Mayorkas sitting there lying about the border, lie. And they wonder why they lost? What are you, nuts? Now let's talk about the market. The stock market. They are leading us to believe that this is the best market ever. That this market is just solid. There's nothing like it. Here, listen to this. This is unbelievable.
The economy is on a very sustainable trajectory.
These are the conditions that are consistent with an upcycle that should extend into 2025. Stick with the market, buy pullbacks. The bull cycle is intact here.
The Federal Reserve knows better than that. I mean, why did they not let the economy take a break during COVID? Because they know they've been stimulating it for 15 years, which means they know how weak it is. I think the central banks know this better than anybody. They just can't say it because they don't want to scare anybody.
So they're trying to tell us the market is really strong and people should keep buying on the bullbacks, but they don't tell the truth. What he said, the money supply over the past 14 years has been horrendous. It's the biggest bubble ever because of money supply.
Give 2025. I think the truth will be told next year whether they can let down this bubble without causing a crash, because I can tell you, never happened in history. And I can't even compare past bubbles to this bubble, given how global and pervasive it is.
So what is a bubble? What created this bubble? It's called money supply. And what is money supply? It's the amount of money available for consumers to spend. So when the economy slows, the government, Congress, will request an increase in money supply by having the Treasury crank up the printing machine, which will be used to purchase treasuries. When they purchase treasuries, what happens? Yields go down. And that's why we got all this QE between the Federal Reserve bringing interest rates down to zero and then the 10-year Treasury yield going down. This whole idea was to drop interest rates. So, money supply is the amount of money available for consumers to spend when the economy slows, and the government will request an increase in printing this money and pop it into the banks. So now the banks are chock full of money and give it to the consumers. Interest rates also drop. Now, consumers can borrow. The banks are full of money. That's money supply. Increase the money supply at the banks. Now, the Federal Reserve's job is to make sure when they do this that everything balances. Interest rates, you keep moving them up and down to ensure us that we have a steady GDP growth and we don't have too much inflation or too little inflation. But never has the Federal Reserve been successful in doing that. These dopes, I mean, the people they hire to sit at the Federal Reserve are dopes. They're educators, never ran a business, never met a payroll. They don't understand how things work. Everything's by the book. And unfortunately, the Federal Reserve in history does very little well. Very little well. They screw everything up. And more often than not, they keep increasing the money supply too aggressively. When you keep printing money, when they say, oh, the economy's slowing, what do we got to do? Hey, let's print money and increase the money supply. That means we'll take the banks and fill them full of money, and they can loan it. And they can loan it to companies at zero interest rates, and they can buy their own stock back. This is aggressive inflation. The value of the dollar tanks. So let me just give you an idea with some numbers. If you can see my chart here, between September 2008, that was when the market crashed, 2007, 2008, there was, at that time, $8 trillion in money supply of money that consumers could borrow. From September 2008 to where we are today, it went from $8 trillion to $13 trillion, $13 trillion increase from $8 trillion 2008 to now September 2024 to $21 trillion. That's a $13 trillion increase, or up an increase of 162%. What, are you nuts? That is the stock bubble. Now understand, when they put that kind of money, it's all printed money. So that's all inflationary. Now it gets worse. When you went from September 2008 to March 2020, we increased this money supply by 100%, from 8 trillion to 16 trillion. What are you, nuts? That's pure inflation. But here is the real problem. You remember COVID. So from March 2020 to February February 2022, March 2020 to February 2022, they printed and increased the money supply by $5 trillion. In a 2-year period, $5 trillion. They went from $8 trillion to $16 trillion from 2008 to 2020. That $5 trillion printed money from 2020 to where we to February 2022 was so explosive. You can't have a soft landing. See, again, inflation occurs when the short-term Fed rate is cut. Also, inflation occurs when money is printed, so to increase the money supply. And during that time, the Federal Reserve, the dopes that sit on those boards, are not qualified to make sure there's a balance between money supply and economic GDP growth to make sure we don't have too much inflation or too little. This is insane. See, most don't understand how inflation and prices work or measured. We are lied to every day. When you hear them say, money supply, but then they turn around and go, oh, look at this. Inflation had dropped another 1/4 point. We're nearing our target of 2%. Everyone thinks, oh, that's good. Inflation's coming down. But wait a minute. How many times have you heard inflation's coming down, and then you go to the grocery store, you stop and fill up your car with gasoline, and you say to yourself, what the hell are they talking about? Inflation's coming down? Why don't I feel it? I'll explain that when I get back, and I'll explain why we do so well at Phil's Gang. Join the gang today, free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And the market is starting to weaken. And people are and traders are starting to think, wait a minute, is this it? Are we at the peak? Is this the point? where everybody feels so giddy and everything's just perfect? Are we at that peak? And then do we end up this thing getting blown up? Do we start panicking? Do we start selling? Are we at the peak here? Well, let's think of what's going on with the headwinds. Personal income. Now they're telling us how great the economy is, right? They're telling us, oh, the economy is really great. Things are great. The economy's good. But wait a minute. Let's talk about the headwinds. Personal income has dropped to 0.3. Personal spending has increased it by 0.5. There's more spending than income. Let's talk about net savings. That is so crucial. We all know how important savings is. Net savings as a percent of gross national income is a disaster. It's below zero. Under Biden and Harris, it dropped to below zero. It never happens. I'm talking about net savings is below zero under Biden and Harris for the past 2 years. I mean, that's insane. That's crazy. So, I mean, we have some serious problems going on. Now, going back to this money supply, there's no way to get this money supply out. It's hard to pull that money supply out. But you know what? There's going to be a lot of experts, including myself, that's going to be at the Hyatt on December 5th and December 7th here in Sarasota. They're going to be able to help you. That's right. The Money Show. The Money Show. So, again, the Money Show, the Master Symposium in Sarasota, December 5 to 7. And the Money Show is providing for the first 10 Phil's Gang listeners with complimentary tickets to this incredible event. And look at what they're going to have there. Sherm's going to be there. Lizzie and Sanders is going to be there. Bianco's going to be there. Of course, I top them all. I'm going to be there. But this is December 5th. What a time to get real information about what is the market going to do. So please, put this on your calendar or call. Call 800-970-4355 today and mention Phil's Gang. And that will secure you a complimentary ticket, the first 10 people who are listening to me here at Phil's Gang. So don't miss this. The Money Show. There's nothing like the Money Show. This didn't start yesterday. The Money Show's been around a long time. And it's the best money show in the country. It really is. There's just nothing like it. When they had all these money shows everywhere, okay, this is the only one I would go to. This is the only one I would go to. And they really have no competition. So check it out. I mean, what you get at the Money Show, the education you get at the Money Show, you can't get at Harvard or Princeton in 4 years. So check it out. Remember, put on your calendar, that's December 5 to December 7th. All right. Now, inflation. Again, inflation occurs when the short-term Fed rate is cut. People don't understand that. So did you see what happened when they cut the rate by 50 basis points? The 10-year Treasury is supposed to follow. It's supposed to go down. It always goes down. Anytime the Fed cuts rates, they cut them first. And then the Treasury rate will then follow and go down. This time, it went up. Why? Because it sent a message. The bond market, Mr. Bond Market, you can trust. Mr. Bond Market is truthful. It's telling us, hey, the only thing that pushed the stock market up for the last 14 years was 21 trillion or a 13 trillion increase since 2008 in money supply. Now, remember, the stock market's not the economy. And here's where they screw us up. They try to take parking space in your head, and they say, oh, look at the stock market. Look how good it is. Boy, we have a strong economy. Look how nice that stock market is. Go buy a new car. Oh, by the way, if the economy is doing so well, like they said, why is it today we have a record number of people who are trading in their cars, and they're upside down by a minimum of $6,000. We never had that ever before. About 40% of the people who trade in their cars are upside down by $6,000. $6,000. The Socialist Democratic Party put everybody in this position because, see, they believe you just print and print and print money. And there's no recourse. See, they think debt has no relevance. See, that's a Marxist. That's a socialist. They think debt has no relevance, and also it puts no strain on the economy. See, they think that's a pathway. They think that's a pathway to expanding the welfare economy. That's how they think. Obama thought the same way. So what you should be doing at this point is getting ready to learn how to sell short. And with our color-coded chart, it's so easy. Because remember, our color-coded chart, I designed it 25 years ago. And in the past 25 years, where you buy on green, sell on short, and it will turn yellow to warn you. If you're in a stock and it's green and you're buying it, and all of a sudden money's going to come up, it will turn yellow. It will warn you. There's nothing like it. And the beautiful thing is when the market starts going down, you don't sit there and freeze and go, what do I do? What do I do? And then what do they tell you? Cost average down, cost average down. Are you nuts? If anybody tells you to cost average down, have them arrested. Have them arrested. Why do you think they tell you to cost average down? Why do you think they tell you when a stock is at 100 and it goes down to 50, hey, look at this, you're lucky. Remember, this stock was at 100, it's now at 50. And the broker says, I think I can get you a lot more of the stock at 50. Yeah, you're going to be like, really? Can you get me stock at $50? Yeah, I think I can. I'll try hard for you. Then he calls the guy back. Oh, I got the stock. I got the stock at $50. The one that you paid 100 for, I got it now at 50. And then the guy calls his wife at home and says, did you hear what Jack did, the broker, what he did for us? You know the stock we bought at 100? It's now at 50? He bought some more of us at 50. What are you, nuts? You know why they do that? Because they don't want you to short a stock. They've been against shorting forever. Why? Because they do not make commissions when you short. If you put a short order into your broker and it goes down 50%, they do not make commissions. That's why they do this dirty trick. Buy on the dip, buy on the dip, buy on the, cost average down, because they get commissions. They get commissions. Unbelievable. 70%, you know, when people keep saying, well, you know, why did Trump win? I don't understand it. Well, 70% of the hardworking Main Street folks are working paycheck to paycheck. 8.7 million Americans, that's record multiple jobs. And no matter how many lies we are told by Main Street media, CNN, MSNBC, Harris and Biden, this is the greatest economy ever. This is the greatest economy. No, it wasn't. Hardworking Main Street Americans knew they were much better off financially under President Trump 4 years than the Biden-Harris 4 years. It was undisputable. Under Trump tax policies in 2022, tax revenues reached a high, and almost an all-time high. I mean, it was incredible, the economy. Nearly $5 trillion. Poverty level fell to the lowest rate in 50 years. Unemployment rate for minorities and those without college degree hit all-time lows. Real median household incomes rose by $5,000 and wages went up nearly 5%. Americans earning under $100,000 saw an average tax cut of 16%. And they want to know, these dopes on The View?
Yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
What an idiot. And what they do for 4 years. He got this all accomplished in 4 years when they were doing what? When the Democrats, Seawall, and the rest of them were taking all their evidence and making it up and lying about it, and it's just unbelievable. But now look at it. It's new year. Let's get going. So why don't you learn how to sell short? Now let me show you something. You can go to my chart. And remember what's taken down this market. This whole market for 14 years is the biggest bubble in history, but nobody cared. Because every time the market pulled back a little, they'd print more money, and keep increasing the money supply. But they're at the end of the road now. You can't keep doing that anymore. You're at the end. So, if you take a chart, you take any chart of mine, the beautiful thing about my chart is you have, try to put it up here for you. There you go. If you can see it, I'm going to move it over to my chart, share it with you. Look at this. The chart, 25 years ago, I said to myself, why does charting have to be so complicated? Just like gold, right? We shorted gold. And this guy yesterday, they asked him, what should they do with gold? And here's what he said why they should short gold. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. If I can find it.
It is my current belief that what's called the impulse cycle in Elliott wave terminology, meaning waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, ending at 2802, completed that impulse phase.
My head exploded. What the hell's he talking about? Are you kidding me? But see, this is what they did. Because they did this on purpose, so you have to go get a broker, find out what's going on. But look at this. He's talking about gold. My chart follows the money. And when it turned red, see it right here? It turned red. And we got a beautiful short on GOLD. For about $19, it's now down to around $16. $19 to $16. Because our chart, again, that's a 15%. We made 15% because it turned red. And if it was going to turn back to green, it would turn yellow first. And instead, you're going to listen to this stuff? Are you nuts? And the other thing that's terrific, too, is that you can sell short. You can sell short because it will turn red. It will turn red for you. So again, buy on green and sell on red. There's nothing better than that. You also, most people are afraid of, when they get into the stock, they never stay in it long enough. They always get out of the stock. They get scared. It starts pulling back a little bit. They get scared. Well, you won't get scared because when it pulls back, you're going to know how to sell short because it will turn red. But here's another dirty trick they pull. Let's say a brokerage house, they got a tremendous amount of orders coming in to buy. So, but they have very little shares. So let's say it's NVIDIA, but they have very little shares, but they got so many orders, but they don't have enough shares. So what they'll paint the tape and to make the stock pull back. And so that you get scared and you get out. So they now fill up their book and they take that inventory and sell it to their clients. So you got out and you say, God, every time I get out, it goes back up. That's not going to happen to you with the color coded chart. Because if it doesn't turn red, you know it's going to go back up. Also, we have a little technique we use, and it's on the bottom of the chart, which will inform you if that pullback is for real or if it's just, again, they're playing a game and it's going to go right back up. There's nothing like the color-coded chart. I designed this. Remember, this has been time-tested for 25 years, and I've shared this with over 125,000 people. Because I figured you've got to make it easier. These stock charts with all these crazy names. One hung low, upside down teacup. What the hell's all that? Join the gang. Try it. Phil's Gang. free for 10 days, and we have
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to